Specimen question come answer issued by UPSC. Civil Services, Main, Examination English, Compulsory. Question. Q8. Write an essay in about 600 words on any one of the following topics. A. Indian judicial system needs overhauling. B. Not rural or urban. India needs rural growth. C. Relevance of Hindi as the national language. D. COVID-19 pandemic and the Indian economy. Answer. Indian judicial system needs overhauling. The Indian judicial system is one of the pillars of democracy and plays a crucial role in upholding the rule of law, protecting fundamental rights, and ensuring justice for all citizens. While the judiciary in India has earned global respect for its independence and landmark judgments, it is also facing serious challenges that demand urgent reforms. In the present era, the Indian judicial system undoubtedly needs overhauling to meet the expectations of a fast-changing society. One of the most serious problems faced by the judiciary is the enormous backlog of cases. Millions of cases are pending in various courts, ranging from subordinate courts to the Supreme Court. Justice delayed often becomes justice denied, especially for poor and marginalized sections of society. Long delays reduce public confidence in the legal system and encourage people to seek extralegal remedies, which is harmful for social order. Another major issue is the shortage of judges and inadequate infrastructure. India has a very low judge-to-population ratio compared to international standards. Many courts function with vacant positions, insufficient courtrooms, and outdated facilities. Lack of modern technology, especially in lower courts, further slows down the judicial process. Though steps like e-courts and virtual hearings have been introduced, their implementation remains uneven across the country. Procedural complexity is another obstacle in the justice delivery system. The legal process is highly technical, time-consuming, and expensive. Frequent adjournments, lengthy arguments, and misuse of procedural loopholes contribute to delays. For an ordinary citizen, navigating the legal system is difficult and intimidating. Simplification of procedures and strict control over unnecessary adjournments are essential to ensure speedy justice. Access to justice is also unequal. High legal costs prevent many people from approaching courts. Though legal aid services exist, their reach and effectiveness are limited. Many citizens remain unaware of their rights and legal remedies. Judicial reforms must focus on making justice affordable, accessible, and understandable to the common man. Judicial accountability and transparency have also become subjects of public debate. While judicial independence is essential, mechanisms for ensuring accountability must be strengthened to maintain public trust. Clear and transparent procedures for judicial appointments, transfers, and disciplinary actions are necessary to enhance credibility. At the same time, it is important to acknowledge the strengths of the Indian judiciary. It has protected constitutional values, expanded the scope of fundamental rights, and acted as a guardian of democracy. Public interest litigation, PIL, has empowered citizens and brought social justice to the forefront. Any reform must preserve these positive aspects while addressing existing shortcomings. To overhaul the judicial system, a multi-pronged approach is required. Increasing the number of judges, improving infrastructure, adopting technology, simplifying procedures, promoting alternative dispute resolution mechanisms like mediation and arbitration, and strengthening legal aid are essential steps. Judicial reforms should be continuous and adaptive to societal needs. In conclusion, the Indian judicial system stands at a critical juncture. While it has served the nation with distinction, the growing demands of justice in modern India require comprehensive and timely reforms. An efficient, accessible, and transparent judiciary is not just a necessity, but a foundation for a strong and vibrant democracy. Not rural or urban, India needs rural growth. India has traditionally been viewed through a clear divide of rural and urban areas. Villages were associated with agriculture and simplicity, while cities symbolized industry, infrastructure, and modern living. However, in the 21st century, this rigid distinction has become outdated. Rapid population growth, migration, technological advancement, and changing aspirations have created the need for a new development model. Instead of focusing only on rural or urban development, India today needs Rurban growth, a balanced integration of rural strengths with urban facilities. Rurban growth refers to the development of rural areas by providing them with urban-like infrastructure, services, and economic opportunities while preserving their local culture, environment, and community life. This approach recognizes that villages do not need to be converted into cities, but they must be empowered with modern amenities such as quality education, healthcare, sanitation, digital connectivity, and employment opportunities. One of the main reasons India needs urban growth is the excessive pressure on cities. Large-scale migration from villages to cities has led to overcrowding, slums, unemployment, traffic congestion, pollution, and strain on civic amenities. People migrate mainly due to lack of jobs, poor infrastructure, and limited opportunities in rural areas. If villages offer decent livelihoods and living standards, migration can be reduced, leading to more balanced population distribution. Rural development can also strengthen the rural economy. Agriculture alone is no longer sufficient to support rural populations. By promoting agro-based industries, food processing units, handicrafts, renewable energy projects, rural tourism, and small-scale manufacturing, employment can be generated locally. This not only increases rural incomes but also reduces dependency on cities. Skill development and entrepreneurship play a crucial role in making villages economically self-reliant. Another important aspect of urban growth is infrastructure development. Good roads, reliable electricity, clean drinking water, internet connectivity, and efficient public transport can transform rural life. Digital connectivity, in particular, has the power to bridge the rural-urban gap by enabling online education, telemedicine, e-governance, and digital payments. The spread of technology ensures that rural citizens are not excluded from the benefits of modernization. Urban growth also supports social development. Better schools, healthcare centers, and sanitation facilities improve the quality of life and human development indicators. Women and youth especially benefit from improved safety, education, and employment opportunities. When basic needs are met locally, social stability and community participation increase. Environmental sustainability is another advantage of the Rurban model. Unlike unplanned urban expansion, Rurban development can be designed to protect natural resources. Use of renewable energy, water conservation, waste management, and eco-friendly housing can ensure development without environmental degradation. Villages, with proper planning, can become models of sustainable living. The government has already recognized the importance of this approach through initiatives aimed at holistic rural development. However, successful urban growth requires effective implementation, local participation, and coordination between government, private sector, and communities. Development must be need-based, inclusive, and sensitive to local conditions rather than adopting a one-size-fits-all approach. In conclusion, India's future lies neither in excessive urbanization nor in isolated rural development, but in a harmonious blend of both. Urban growth offers a practical and sustainable solution to India's development challenges. By bringing urban amenities to rural areas while preserving their unique identity, India can achieve inclusive growth, reduce inequality, and ensure balanced national progress. Relevance of Hindi as the national language. Language plays a vital role in shaping the cultural identity, unity, and communication of a nation. In a country as diverse as India, with hundreds of languages and dialects, the question of a common language becomes extremely important. Hindi, spoken and understood by a large section of the population, holds significant relevance as a national language in promoting unity, cultural heritage, and effective communication across the country. Hindi is one of the most widely spoken languages in India. A substantial portion of the population uses Hindi either as a mother tongue or as a second language. This wide acceptance makes Hindi a natural link language that connects people from different regions, cultures, and linguistic backgrounds. In everyday life, administration, media, and public interaction, Hindi often serves as a medium of communication that bridges regional divides. From a cultural perspective, Hindi represents India's rich heritage and traditions. It is deeply rooted in Indian literature, philosophy, and history. Classical and modern works of poetry, prose, and drama in Hindi reflect the social values, struggles, and aspirations of the Indian people. Promoting Hindi helps preserve this cultural legacy and strengthens national identity in an age of globalization. Hindi also plays an important role in democratic participation. For democracy to function effectively, citizens must understand laws, policies, and government initiatives. Hindi enables communication between the government and the common people, especially in rural and semi-urban areas. When official information is available in Hindi, it becomes more accessible and inclusive, empowering citizens to participate actively in governance. In the field of education, Hindi contributes to better learning outcomes, particularly at the primary level. Children learn more effectively in their mother tongue or a familiar language. Education in Hindi helps reduce dropouts, improves comprehension, and builds a strong foundation for further learning. At the same time, learning Hindi does not prevent the acquisition of other languages, including English or regional languages. Economically, Hindi has growing relevance in media, entertainment, advertising, and digital platforms. Hindi cinema, television, news channels, and online content reach millions of people across India and abroad. The expansion of Hindi content in the digital space has created employment opportunities and strengthened India's soft power globally. However, the relevance of Hindi must be viewed with sensitivity and inclusiveness. India is a multilingual nation, and all regional languages deserve equal respect and protection. Promoting Hindi should not be seen as imposing it on non-Hindi speaking regions. Instead, Hindi should function as a link language alongside English and regional languages, fostering unity without threatening linguistic diversity. The Constitution of India recognizes Hindi in the Devanagari script as the official language of the Union, while also safeguarding the use of other languages. This balanced approach reflects India's commitment to unity in diversity, encouraging multilingualism rather than linguistic dominance strengthens national harmony. In conclusion, Hindi remains highly relevant as a national language due to its widespread use, cultural richness, and role in communication and democracy. When promoted in a spirit of inclusiveness and respect for linguistic diversity, Hindi can continue to serve as a unifying force in India. Its relevance lies not in replacing other languages, but in complementing them, helping India move forward as a cohesive and culturally vibrant nation. COVID-19 pandemic and the Indian economy. The COVID-19 pandemic was an unprecedented global crisis that deeply affected lives, livelihoods, and economies across the world. India, with its large population and interconnected economy, faced severe economic challenges due to prolonged lockdowns, supply chain disruptions, and uncertainty. The pandemic exposed structural weaknesses in the Indian economy, while also highlighting its resilience and capacity for recovery. One of the most immediate economic impacts of COVID-19 in India was the nationwide lockdown imposed to contain the spread of the virus. While necessary from a public health perspective, the lockdown brought economic activity to a near standstill. Manufacturing units, construction sites, markets, transport services, and small businesses were forced to shut down. As a result, gross domestic product (GDP) contracted sharply, marking one of the worst economic slowdowns in independent India. The informal sector, which employs a large share of India's workforce, was hit the hardest. Daily wage workers, street vendors, domestic helpers, and small traders lost their source of income almost overnight. The mass migration of workers from cities to villages highlighted the vulnerability of migrant labor and the absence of adequate social security. Unemployment rose sharply, and household incomes declined, pushing many families into poverty. The agricultural sector, though relatively more resilient, also faced challenges. Disruptions in supply chains, shortage of labor during harvesting seasons, and difficulties in transporting produce affected farmers. However, agriculture remained a crucial support to the economy, providing livelihoods and ensuring food security during the crisis. Good monsoons and government support helped the sector recover faster than others. The pandemic also severely affected key sectors such as tourism, hospitality, aviation, retail, and real estate. Travel restrictions and fear of infection reduced consumer demand, leading to business losses and job cuts. Small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, often described as the backbone of the Indian economy, faced liquidity shortages and risk of closure due to reduced revenues and fixed costs. To mitigate the economic impact, the government and the Reserve Bank of India announced several relief measures. These included financial stimulus packages, credit support to MSMEs, free food distribution under welfare schemes, direct benefit transfers, and monetary policy interventions such as interest rate cuts. Initiatives aimed at self-reliance and economic revival sought to strengthen domestic manufacturing and reduce dependence on imports. The pandemic also accelerated structural changes in the Indian economy. Digitalization gained momentum as work from home, online education, e-commerce, digital payments, and telemedicine became widespread. Technology-driven sectors adapted quickly, creating new opportunities for innovation and employment. Technology-driven sectors adapted quickly, creating new opportunities for innovation and employment. This shift demonstrated the importance of digital infrastructure in economic resilience. At the same time, COVID-19 underscored the need for stronger healthcare infrastructure, social security systems, and inclusive growth. Investment in public health, education, and skill development emerged as critical priorities for long-term economic stability. The crisis also emphasized the importance of formalizing the economy and providing protection to vulnerable workers. In conclusion, the COVID-19 pandemic caused significant disruption to the Indian economy, affecting growth, employment, and livelihoods. However, it also revealed India's resilience and adaptability. With lessons learned from the crisis, India has the opportunity to build a more inclusive, sustainable, and robust economy capable of facing future challenges. Question: Though, A. What were the principles of Tolstoy with which Mahatma Gandhi agreed? Ans: Mahatma Gandhi agreed with Tolstoy's principles of nonviolence, love, truth, and moral resistance to evil. Tolstoy believed that violence can never bring real justice and that social change must come through peaceful means, simplicity of life, self-discipline, and obedience to the voice of conscience. Gandhi adopted these ideas and applied them in his philosophy of satyagraha, using non-violent resistance against injustice. B. How are Thoreau and Ruskin linked to Gandhi and Tolstoy in the passage? Henry David Thoreau influenced Gandhi through his ideas on civil disobedience, which taught resistance to unjust laws, through peaceful refusal. John Ruskin influenced Gandhi by emphasizing the dignity of labor, simple living, and social equality in his work unto this last. Thus, Thoreau, Ruskin, Tolstoy, and Gandhi are linked by their shared belief in moral values, nonviolence, simplicity, and resistance to injustice through ethical means rather than force. See, what was Pierre's philosophy of life? Pierre believed in simple living, hard work, honesty, and contentment. He felt that a person should live within one's means, accept life as it comes, and face difficulties with courage and dignity, rather than complaining or chasing false pride. D. What is SCI and how did it come into existence? SCI stands for Society of Chemical Industry. It came into existence in 1881 in London with the objective of bringing together scientists, industrialists, and technologists to promote the practical application of chemical science for the benefit of industry and society. Q. How is Pierre's work different from the work of those mentioned in the passage? Answer. Pierre's work is different because he does not merely follow or repeat the existing methods used by others. While the people mentioned in the passage work within established ideas or conventional approaches, Pierre adopts an original and innovative path. He combines creativity with scientific thinking and explores new perspectives rather than depending on traditional practices. Thus, his work stands out for its originality, independent thinking, and deeper insight compared to the routine or conventional work of others. Q4A. Rewrite the following sentences after making necessary corrections. I. Have you brought some mangoes? Have you brought any mangoes? 2. The Ganga is the sacred river. The Ganga is a sacred river. 3. I and Chetan did all the work. Chetan and I did all the work. 4. He said it himself. He said it himself. No correction needed. Blessed is he that has found a job. Blessed is he who has found a job. 6. He is much ill to do any work. He is too ill to do any work. 7. One of the boy was absent for a week. One of the boys was absent for a week. 8. Gopal came home lately. Gopal came home late. 9. She was sitting beside him. She was sitting beside him. Kiss Smiley. Our hoard is small and our hearts are large. Our hoard is small, but our hearts are large. Q4B. Supply the missing words. I am going away at the end of January. 2. Our flat is on the second floor of the building. 3. What time did they get to the hotel? 4. I've no idea who Tom Alter was. I've never heard of him. The problem is getting serious. We've to do something about it. Q4C. Use the correct forms of the verbs given in brackets. If you found a wallet in the street, what would you do with it? Second conditional if plus past simple would plus base verb. We are late. The film will have started by the time we get to the cinema. Future perfect for an action completed before a future time. What was wrong with you? Why'd you go to the hospital? Simple past question did plus base form. I am thinking of buying a house. Think of plus gerund, ing. She took a bottle from the bag she had carried all the way from home. Past perfect to show earlier past action. Final answers only. I found. 2 will have started. 3 did you go? 4 of buying. We had carried. Q4D. Write the antonyms of the following. I. Boring interesting. 2. Accept reject. 3. Exit enter. 4. Misanthropic philanthropic. We. Decent assent. Q.Panch A. Rewrite the following sentences as directed answers. I. Change into indirect speech. He asked him whether his name was not Ahmad. 2. Change into passive voice. Why was such a letter written by your brother? 3. Use as soon as. As soon as he entered the house, He took off his coat. 4. Use neither, nor. Sohan neither smokes nor drinks. We must eat or we cannot live. Simple sentence. We must eat to live. 6. Your sister helped you to do the assignment? Question tag. Your sister helped you to do the assignment, didn't she? 7. The doctor will see you today only if it is an emergency. Using unless. The doctor will not see you today unless it is an emergency. 8. You can borrow the book if you return it soon. Using provided that. You can borrow the book provided that you return it soon. 9. I can't explain the situation. It is too complicated. Use to. Answer. The situation is too complicated to explain. Kiss smiley. He owed his success to his father. Change into a complex sentence. Answer. He was successful because his father helped him. Alternate correct form. He owed his success to his father, who helped him. Ans.Q5b. I. Altruist. He is an altruist who donates a large part of his income to help the poor without expecting anything in return. 2. Senility. Due to senility, the old man often forgets familiar names and recent events. 3. Glib. The candidate's glib answers sounded impressive but lacked real understanding of the issues. Answers Q5 C. I. There are millions of stars in space. 2. Keats' poetry is full of sensuous imagery. Q5 C. Choose the appropriate word S to fill in the blanks. I. There are millions of stars in space. Correct. Space. General. No article needed. 2. Keats' poetry is full of sensuous imagery. Correct. Sensuous. Related to senses. Sensual relates to physical pleasure. 3. Leave aside the interest. She won't pay even the principal amount. Correct. Principal. Main amount of money. Principle means rule. 4. Research demands an intensive study of the subject. Correct. Intensive, thorough, detailed. Intense means strong. Final answers only. Space. Sensuous. Principle. Intensive. Q5. D. Use the following idioms phrases in sentences to bring out their meaning clearly. I. Cold comfort. The small compensation given by the company was cold comfort to the workers who had lost their jobs. 2. End in smoke. All his plans to start a new business ended in smoke due to lack of funds. 3. Feather one's nest. Meaning, to make money or gain advantages dishonestly for oneself. Sentence. The corrupt official tried to feather his own nest by misusing public funds. 4. Incumbent upon. Meaning, necessary as a duty or obligation, binding on someone. Sentence. It is incumbent upon every citizen to follow the law of the country. We laugh in one sleeve. Meaning, to feel secretly amused, especially at someone else's mistake. Sentence. He appeared serious, but he was laughing in his sleeve at their foolish argument.